Yeah. So, what what you're talking about is a little bit of what's called crisis apparitions, or entanglement, or telepathy. So when we think of telepathy, it's a lot of people think it's read my mind and tell me what number I'm thinking, right? Or I'm gonna communicate a number to you and just tell me what it is. So it's like reading minds type thing. But telepathy is a little bit more than that. Sometimes it has to do with physical feelings that we get. In the book I wrote called The Ghost Studies, I talk about a couple cases where one of them where um, it was a mother and daughter. The daughter was away in college, thousands of miles away, and the mother was at home. And the mother had this overwhelming pain in her right hand, I believe, almost like it was on fire. Um, and then she didn't know what was going on, but she was in really pain and she was screaming and upset. And um, what happened was that her daughter, miles away, had poured acid on her hand during a college class. And what happened was she got this feeling right as her daughter poured the acid on her hand. So you have this idea of communication at a distance almost instantaneously, right? Now, what's past is not so much thoughts, but feelings. So think about this. If I'm the daughter, I'm in pain, all these emotional stuff's going on inside me, I'm in pain. Somehow that leaves my body, goes into the environment, travels thousands of miles. This message kind of goes inside the mom's body, and her body interprets it, and it comes out as pain, the same thing her daughter is thousands of miles away. So think about all the things, how complex that has to be, right? Um, and so that's sort of a form of telepathy. It's communication at a distance instantaneously, or entanglement. Um, there's cases of this all the time. You mentioned the one that you talked about was there was a husband at home on the computer, and his wife had went out with I think her friends for a ladies' night or a girls' night out. And as he was on the computer playing, he looked to the side and saw his wife in the corner of the room, pale, disheveled, and holding her arm like this. Um, so obviously he was a little scared, and then it disappeared. Now, a couple moments later, he actually got a phone call. I can't remember the specifics of it, but she had gotten into a car wreck and broke her right arm, which she was holding. So this is communication at a distance. Somebody is in distress, whether it's the girl at college or the wife, and when they're in distress, they send this distress call out, and it's linked or connected, or um, people who are usually close to them receive the call, and it comes out in the form of an apparition or pain or something like this. Um, and we see these things all the time. We call them crisis apparitions. You see them sometimes with ghosts. They get confused as ghosts too. So if I'm laying in my bed at 1 o'clock at night and a apparition of my aunt is floating above me, and she says, "I love you, goodbye," and then I wake up the next morning and I get a call saying, "Hey, your aunt died at 1 a.m. last night." Right? That's the moment that I saw her floating above me. Now, if I've never had a ghostly experience in my life, and I'm 45 years old, um, what are the odds that I have a ghostly experience the exact moment that my aunt dies, and it's of my aunt saying goodbye? Sometimes that's not correlation, but that's causation. It almost seems like one caused the other. So that's where we take away, we talk about evidence or data. The probability of that happening is astronomical. Astronomical. The amount of minutes I'm alive on this planet to only have one ghostly encounter right when my aunt dies and it's of my aunt, to me, it blows. It's not correlation, it's causation. One thing happened and it caused the other. It's not misinterpretation. It's not this, it's that. So I think these types of cases are really powerful. Shared dreams sometimes can be considered a little bit of that telepathy too, entanglement. Um, I've read about astral projection, or if someone's really thinking about somebody else, they've been able to sort of communicate with them through the dream process, or when they're in their dream states. So I've heard of these types of things. Dreams aren't really my wheelhouse, more or less. It's more the ghosts, the crisis apparitions, the telepathy, the entanglement. But it kind of falls under that because it seems like when we're in our dream states, we might be more susceptible to these sort of communication, telepathy type environments.